Welcome to Photostory 3 for Windows tutorial. First of all, Photostory 3 for Windows is a free software that you can download off cnet.com on the internet. And again, this is a free software. What this is for is a application or a software that allows us to create slideshows using pictures while we can narrate and add effects and also at the same time add music to it. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing is when you click on the Photostory 3 for Windows, it's going to give you this first wizard right here. Because we are starting a new story, then we click Begin a New Story. When you click Next, it allows you to click import pictures that you want. We can do that by clicking Import Pictures and then go to the folder that we desire. Now in this particular case, I already have these pictures. So what I'd like to do is I could click Control left click on all the ones that I want, or I can just press Control A and it allows me to choose everything, all the pictures are in there. So when I click OK, now what it does is it automatically loads all those pictures that I have in that folder, the chosen pictures I have. There's two ways to go about rearranging these pictures. So let's say, for example, I want this picture to go to the very front. There's two ways to go about it. First, I'll highlight this picture and then just click the arrow to get there. Or let's say, for example, I like this picture to go somewhere in between these two right here. I can just click and drag it in between, and there it is. Now it's in between them. That's how you put your pictures in order. Now, of course, it's always a good idea to click Save Project, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that for you guys. I'd assume that you guys know how to do that. So let's say, for example, I don't like this picture anymore. I can just go ahead and click X, and there it is. It's now gone. Let's say I don't like this either, so I'll just click X, and now it's gone. So you know the drill on it now. Now, I could also create, edit this picture, make it nicer looking. You can rewind it and create something different on it, but this is on a special detailed scenario, and if that is something you want, you can definitely rotate it and so on and so forth. I could remove black borders if I want just by clicking on here, and that's gonna take a while, and there it is. Do you want the picture or not? No. So just on that particular thing that I want picture, so now there it is. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just go there, and that's that if you want to remove these. Now that being said, so these are just all we've done so far is rearrange our pictures. Now when I click Next, what it does is allows me to type in any title that I want. So let's say, for example, I want computers for my title, and I can click it here at the very bottom and in the middle, and notice that it's not showing anything. Why? Because it's actually underneath here and it's in black. So what I'd like to do is I go here again, I went to this button right here, I click there and I change the color to white, and now when I do that, and I can change it to any and there it is. Now I can click different effects. I can do charcoal, I can do none, and that's just the way it is, and that's how you do that. And you can do that to each of these. So for the interest of time, I just want to show you one slide, so that way if you can do in one slide, you can do it to all of them. Now click Next, and now here's the more interesting part of this. I can click Narrate here, and what happens here is that it allows me, so when I click on this, I can actually record what the words or the script that I want to be narrated when this slide is being shown. For example, this is what it's going to be. I will show this slide as a computer information system slide, and that will be shown for the presentation. I press stop, and what has happened is now it's at 11 seconds. Here's the interesting part about this. When I click on customize motion, I can actually purposely set it to the number of seconds displayed in the picture, and that's how it's gonna be. So that means that this picture will be shown for 11.3 seconds, the exact same length of time that my narration was. and I can actually click here and specify the start, and what it does is it allows it to move. So now I can make this look like this, and by the end of the slide it will be this size. So for example, I can do preview on this and look at what happens right here. I will show this slide as a computer information system slide, and that will be shown for the presentation. And there it is. So what that did was it allowed it for that particular slide to be shown with that narration alone. Saves you so much time. I click close, and let's say change to this picture, yes, and that's that. Now, and you can follow that through to each of these, and it's just going to be exactly the same process. Now when I click next, it allows me to select the music, or I can create my own music. What I like to do with the music is actually make sure that this is that the music is actually not too loud, so that way it will not overlap with my narration. So I can choose that music, I can create the music, or I can actually select the music that is, depending on copyright reasons, however you want to deal with it, just be careful with your copyright. And this right here is key. You want to adjust this volume right here. You do not want it too high, because if it's too high, it's gonna take over all your narration. So you want it to be a little bit right here in the just in the background, so that way it'll just set the background. Once you're done with this and you've clicked preview, and now you click next, and now it tells you where you want to save it. So on the browse, where do you want to save it, and what file do you want it to be? So let's say, for example, this is Photostory, Photostory example. That's my title of my video. And when I click on save, what it does is as soon as I click next, it tells you where to save it. Save it as a playback to your computer. This is the best file format or size wise. And when I click next, it's gonna save it and it's gonna render it, and you just wait. And now your video is ready to be shared on the internet. You can view your story if you want, or you can just press exit and you are good to go. Now you can actually share this on to YouTube or send us an email. And look at this file. It is a very, very small file. 1.4 megabytes at the most is a very, very small file for at least a 7-minute presentation. Thank you.